The University of Northwestern Ohio, offering rare access to professional racing through a unique curriculum, propels young men and women into the fiercely competitive world of motorsports. Those careers start right here. Mind, character, physical ability. Motorsports U, the art of educating all three. Previously on Motorsport U, the University of Northwestern Ohio's motorsport team traveled to Eldora Speedway for the UMP Nationals. The university brought out all 4 modified cars to try to qualify for the feature race. Cody Wiesner posted the fastest qualifying team of the university's race team. All 4 team members were forced to race in the same B main, with only the top 2 finishers moving on to the prestigious feature for the UMP Nationals.
Last night, that first start, he jumped from 4th up into 2nd. He was outside of the leader coming off of turn 2. Awesome start. I wish there would have been a yellow flag. Cody may have won that thing. He was on the gas, ready to go. He's mentally wound up, ready to go anytime he gets behind a car, behind the wheel. And that's how it should be.
Chris finished an impressive 3rd and was thought to be the first alternate. However, it was Cody who made it to the feature race as alternate with his fast qualifying time. This was a hectic way to end the 2010 race season.
He wasn't even in his suit or nothing. He had to get suited up, and we had to get the car out of the trailer, which was pretty hard to do real quick.
But luckily, right now, they just got off the red flag, but he had some time to calm down. If he was smart, he would calm down, and he should be all right. Just use his head. He'll be starting in the back anyway, so just use his head, he'll be all right.
Season's been awesome. I mean, getting the opportunity to get in a mod, being the only first-year student in a mod, I don't think it really could have went any better. I mean, we could have had maybe another win or something, but just having the results that we've had and all that, I mean, the coaches seem happy and the team seems pretty happy, so I think it went really well.
Cody's a really good driver. I mean, looking at what he's got as far as talent, as soon as he hopped in that car, it seemed like it came natural. And I know he runs his own stock car at home, but I mean, as far as out of the box, it looks like he's performed the best out of all our drivers so far. And
special night at Limaland Motorsports Park. History in the making. Cody Wiesner of Muskegon, Michigan, a University of Northwestern Ohio undergrad, wins the Budweiser Thunderstock feature. First time ever for a racer athletic motorsports team to win in the Thunderstock division. We salute Cody Wiesner and the Racer Athletic.
I just want to thank all the whole crew and all the coaches and everything for giving us the opportunity to do this. I mean, there's no other place that you can go to get this kind of experience, especially the hands-on and getting a chance to be behind the wheel. I mean, it's one of the things that you just can't describe and can't be thankful enough for.
It's a dream just coming out here and getting the opportunity, to drive for someone, and them giving me the opportunity to drive their cars. It's been, a pretty awesome season. Wish I would have, got a little more better finishes than I have, but a lot of that's seat time. But other than that, it's been an awesome season.
There's nothing else like it. Where else can you go to school, work on race cars, drive race cars, and learn about them? And just, it's one of the best experiences I've ever had. I'd still be at home racing my micro sprint if it wasn't for the school. I'd be running maybe once a week with low budget, and I come out here and I get the best equipment and the best guys to work on the stuff, and it's awesome.
The season started off with a tough decision by the coaches after so many qualified students tried out for the team's driver positions. Chris Puskas from Somerset, New Jersey, and Andy Strait from Traverse City, Michigan, were chosen to drive modifieds for this 2010 season.
They seem like more of the guys that you kind of got to get riled up before they get in the car, because I mean they're so easygoing. But I mean, they both drive the wheels off them things, and Chris has had a lot more experience than Jared has this year. So I mean, there's more to be expected from him. But I mean, they're both real good drivers, and they'll run you clean, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, if you go out and, I mean, a lot of guys frown on the program just because, oh, it's just a bunch of dirty, rotten kids that get the opportunity of a lifetime to go out and do it, but they don't see the work that we put into them behind the scenes. They just think we're giving it, and we're not. I mean, you got to work for what you're given.
The stock drivers, some of which had never been in a race car before, will rotate in order to give everyone the chance to show their talent and gain important seat time in the stock car. The success of the students in driver tryouts has all the coaches looking forward to a great racing season. The 2010 race season got off to a slow start, with several of the drivers not finishing their races and bringing a whole lot of damage to the racing team's equipment.
I tore his car up and he tore ours up, but we were just coming right back through. It felt good, but I mean, it stinks. It's first night, it's not supposed to go this way.
You could tell the talent was there. It was just going to take time for them to get comfortable driving those high horsepower, powerful rides.
And Chris had never really driven anything bigger than a mini sprint, so it was an experience at the beginning. We ended up starting in the Sherman car, which was last year's 2 modifieds, and we had a kind of a base idea what that was going to do for us. But as soon as we hopped in this Impressive and started tuning on it, Chris got to know the tracks and the car a lot better, and we ended up improving every race. So there was never one race where we ended up going backwards. In my mind, I don't think so. Hopefully the coaches think the same.
The stock division had an up and down year, with Cody Wiesner finding some early season success by winning a feature in impressive fashion. Other drivers were still making rookie mistakes, and the school's stable of high horsepower cars was paying the price.
It's almost indescribable. I mean, 1 second you're just going, I was feeling good, running fast, and then right into the wall, and you feel it. The whole shot goes right through the car, and as you can see, the shock was enough to mess up 3 of my corners, and you feel it good. I hit so hard it popped off my visor. It's kept on going. I'll be sore tomorrow, but I'm feeling good. I'm ready to get back out there. My crew's working hard. Everybody that are in the team's getting ready to get me back out there, so hopefully we'll make it and kick the car on the track this time and see how we do.
It's been a journey. We've had ups, we've had downs. Literally, I was upside down 1 week. Another week, I was up front, running with some of the best that run at our track. I would have never had the opportunity to be in a full-size race car if it wasn't for this school, so I've had a blast. I've tried to take advantage of it as much as I could and learn from it as much as I can. And I can only look towards next year and see what we can do next year. Love to keep driving. Either way, I'll be involved one way or another with the program.
Part of the school's education program is to introduce these students to big-time racing, such as the Made in America Wayland 200, working on crews for Todd Zaghetti and Eddie McDonald at the historic Martinsville Speedway. to experience the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway, working again for Todd Zaghetti, and getting a chance to go over the wall in the truck race for Mario Goslin in the UNOH Performance 200.
If we get a 20-second stop, I'm going to be tickled to death. But really what I'm after is it really doesn't matter if it's 22, 24. As long as we take our time, we make sure everything's tight and everything's done right, we're going to be tickled to death. We're going to be real happy. But, you know, you can do this stuff in practice, you know, at school or at the shop all day long. But when you get to the racetrack and you actually get on pit road, I'm sure these guys will be attest to that after tonight. It's a whole different experience. But I think we're gonna do great. I think the guys are gonna do great. They're ready. They're pumped up. I'm excited that you know, you guys are here helping us out.
5, 4, 3, 2.
This exposure is one of the many reasons the University of Northwestern Ohio's Motorsports program is growing and getting better each and every year.
It's very important that the school has a good program, which obviously they do. I mean, these guys, like I said, have been tickled to death all day. But what's even as important is that these guys got a place to go when they get out of the school. And I think everybody's working really hard to make that happen. And that's what's going to make the whole program successful, and it's happening.
I mean, we've been wanting to do this since I was 5 years old, and there we are leading the pack. So it was awesome.
Yeah, you know, you never put into perspective what you do until the end of it. And just the fact that I'm 20 years old, entering my 3rd year in a national touring sport, and I've lived my dream, and you know, I could lose it all today with no regrets at all. That's just the best thing about it.
Well, I've got nothing but good things to say about these guys. I've watched them from when they were first all thrown together in one big group, you know, tearing down these cars to start the season and building new cars from kit form, you know, from starting with a bare chassis and hanging all the pieces on them, to rebuilding the stuff that was used up last year by the previous team, to watch them, you know, all thrown together, and then the way they've grown and gotten organized. I was standing on top of the hauler last night a little bit watching them, you know, prep these 4 cars to get them ready to go out for their heat races. And it was just phenomenal. Each guy had a job. Each guy knew exactly what he was supposed to be doing. There was no wasted effort, nobody standing around. I think they've learned a lot. I think whether they want to admit it or not, this is the best class they've taken at the university, if you want to call it that.
Our crew chiefs on our modifieds, Michael Brooks and Kevin Bradshaw, those boys have stepped up. They were first-year students last year. They both did a weekend of driving last year in the stock cars. This year they really did not have the concern about driving. They just wanted to work on the modifieds. They've both stepped up, and they've been wonderful crew chiefs. The data they record, the setup on the cars, working with the drivers. There's definitely a friendship that's been born between both of them and their drivers that I'm sure will last most of their lifetime.
Michael the Hammer Brooks. Well, Mike is got a very short fuse. And, you know, there's been times when I've come off the racetrack and Mike's had to calm me down. But there's been more times that I've had to calm Michael down when I came off the racetrack for stuff that I wasn't worried about. But, you know, he's a good guy. Me and Mike get along really good. We worked down in Florida together on David Rudiman and Buzzy Rudiman's car, and I think that's what kind of brought me and Michael together. We kind of had a level head, level base going into this season, knowing that he was going to be my crew chief, and we grew a lot. And you know, in the beginning of the season, we kind of bickered a little bit, but I mean, now I feel like Michael, I could take him anywhere as my crew chief, and he would perform great.
He's more of a calm guy, and having what his crew does, I don't know, I'm more vocal with my crew. So, but me and Kevin are good friends. I wish I was on his crew sometimes because he's so calm, and I was like, man, there's a lot less pressure over there on that team. I kind of amp up my team's pressure. That's just how I am. That's how I grew up.
It was mid-season, and the coaches needed to make some changes and get drivers to pilot these cars the way they were set up for the track.
Well, I believe the cars are set up very good for the track and the conditions. Andy did a fine job in the number 2 car out there. Chris, however, I think needs to get used to his car and the driving style that it takes to get the car to do good the way it's set up in the track conditions. Instead of trying to move around, if the car works good up high, he should stay up high and not try to move down at the bottom. If the car's working good on the bottom, he should probably stay down there. It makes a big difference on how the car is set up. Currently, his car is set up to work better in the middle and up high on the track, so he really shouldn't be down on the bottom. So it's some learning for the drivers. We have to talk to the drivers, get them to enter the corners correctly and drive their car where their car is working for. And it's nice to wish it would work somewhere else, but if it's not going to, then you got to run it where it's going to work best for you in your race.
Every good sports team, no matter what sport it is, they have to have some discipline, you know. You can't just be satisfied with a 20th place finish every night, you know. I mean, Higgins yelled at me and it helped me a lot because he knew my limits and he knew I had more in me, and I guess it just really took him, you know, pushing me to get over that little hump. And after that, I mean, it's been great after that.
He did a wonderful job as a student throughout the classes he was taking, and he progressed there as well. So we're not only trying to build just an individual as a race driver or an individual as a team member, we also have to build individuals that are going to go out in society and represent the university and their education that they garner from here.
The whole team heard the message loud and clear, and the wins started coming. Heat race wins, wins in B-Main. And night after night, the team was competing with the best drivers on any track in which they ran. The Lima Land Championships had Andy Strait racing hard against fellow teammate Chris Puskas in the feature race, with Andy edging Chris to become Rookie of the Year.
Definitely real happy. Finished second in the heat, and we got another second here in the feature. I'll take that. It's definitely the goal, top 5.
I was a little nervous with him running right there with Chris because I know it's friendly competition, but they get pretty into it sometimes. I figured they were going to race each other clean, which seemed like they did, and we just came out on top this time.
With everyone's confidence level high, it was time for a trip to Eldora Speedway and the UMPH Nationals, where all 4 drivers ran good races and represented the school well on the famous half-mile track. Eldora was the last race of the season for the University of Northwestern Ohio Motorsports team. It's back to campus where the guys are earning a degree and working on race cars, getting ready for a trip to Volusia Speedway and the Dirt Nationals in Florida.
Volusia is the start of the new season. We, you know, come fresh out of the box for Volusia. It's the biggest stage in dirt modified racing down in Florida, so, well, in the country as far as I'm concerned. There's over 200 cars down there on any given night, so it's a pretty big stage, and you got to have your act together to go down there and be competitive.
The level of competitiveness and the love of motorsports is seen everywhere at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
Autocross club where we hold SCCA type autocross events on campus. We've got a drag club, and they've got a couple cars that they take to different drag strips in the area. They've got a couple project cars that they work on. There's an off-road club. The students get together and go on trail rides, or they'll run their vehicles on the off-road obstacle course we've got back behind the 600 building with the hills and the log pit, and try to get the best times through there. So all these different clubs, you know, there's the ability for a student that's got any kind of automotive interest to take that interest further and participate, you know, hands-on with other students that have that similar type of interest.
To be able to participate on this level with the likes of Kenny Schrader and everybody that's out here racing tonight are people that have passed numerous championships, points leaders, been doing this for years and years. Our drivers 1 year in these cars, and look, we're on the main stage and we make it to the big race.
I would sum up my season as I came into the modified not knowing what I was doing, and then, you know, progressing a lot through the middle of the season and getting a lot better. And near the end of the season, I felt like I could run with, you know, some of the best at Lima Land, and even here, it's such a great accomplishment when you can, you know, learn that quickly and you can compete with the best of the best.
I'm really proud of the 2010 Motorsports team this year. They won some features, competed well. They're in the point standings at Lima Land. I believe one of the young men's in 5th, the other's in 8th in the mod division and the stock division. So I'm really pleased with how they competed. We went to some new venues down at I-55. They did well down there. They made the A main down there. That's Kenny Schrader's track. So they're getting more experience going around different venues, and I really look forward to seeing what the team will do next year at Volusia down in Florida. So I would wrap up 2010 as one of our most successful out of the years we've put the Motorsports team together, and I'm really proud of these young men. So I'm excited about and looking forward to 2011.
We don't know who will be representing the school as drivers at Volusia, but we do know that the UNOH racers will be ready to take to the track and battle for the dream visit to victory lane.